The Beatles fan club here in Calgary is alive and well.
Joining us now is the president, or rather the Beatles fan club public relations director, Larry Leach. Do I have that right?
You got it right.
Good. Well, welcome to the Noon Show, Larry.
Thank you.
First of all, why are they so popular after all these years?
Well, if you look back through the history of music, there's certain names that come out way back. You know, you go to Beethoven, Mozart, great composers, and I think John Lennon and Paul McCartney are going to go down in history as another one of those great composers. Their music is timeless. When you hear it now, you hear a song like Revolution, it sounds really close to some of the real hard rock bands of today. So, and they influence just about everybody in popular music. So, that's my opinion anyway.
So why do you like them personally?
Again, it's timeless. I can throw a tape or a CD on now and also listen to it on the radio, and it sounds like it's something that's come currently. It doesn't sound old and dated like, say, some of the old 50s tunes or that type of thing. Their music is so wide and varied. My personal favorite album is Rubber Soul, and you put that album on and there's so many different songs and different sounds and different lyrics to it that it's hard to get sick of, really. So
how come you got involved in the Beatles fan club?
Well, it actually started when I was working with Pete Best on his Western Canadian tour, and the current president and founder, who decided he was going to start a Beatles fan club, approached me at the gig, said he was going to set something up, and I gave him my card and says, give me a call when you get it started, and I was technically the first member of the club, along with the president, so it kind of blossomed and grew from there. And I guess the reason I stay with it now is the people. I mean, we've got a really good group of people, all the way from 14 to 50 years of age. So it's, again, the timeless factor. I mean, kids of today are getting into the Beatles, so it's kind of fun.
You've got some memorabilia here that you want to point out. Let's start with that picture first.
Yeah, well, this is a picture that Pete Best signed for me. It's Pete with the other three Beatles hanging out back of the Cavern Club, and he signed it and personalized it to myself and my wife. And that's probably my prized possession because it's a real personal piece.
I'd say that's pretty cool.
Yeah. It was really cool being on the road with him. It was just a riot.
I bet. What was he like?
Very quiet. And the funny thing is, I consider him a friend, and you know, I was driving the van around Western Canada, and I'd look over at him, and when I'm talking to him, it's Pete, my friend, but sometimes I'd look over and go, wow, that's the original drummer of the Beatles sitting beside me, you know, so it was kind of neat. There's almost, in my mind, there's almost two Pete Bests. There's the Pete Best that was the original drummer of the Beatles, and my friend Pete Best.
What else do you have here? This
is an original set of trading cards from the early days. 1962 or 64, I should say, these came out, and it's a complete set in mint condition, and I was really happy to be able to find that. There's some great old photos, and of course a lot of pose shots, the old cheesecake shots, and the smiling Beatles. So there's some great photos in it, and that's why I like that one.
So what do you do as a member of the Beatles fan club?
Well, a couple of things that we do in a month. We have a social the last Saturday of every month at Melrose Cafe, and one of the things that happens on Saturday is they happen to have NTN music trivia, so we play that on the little NTN communicators, and that's always a riot. It's a pretty big competition because between us Beatle fans, there's quite a lot of music knowledge, so that it's always quite a competition amongst us. So that's what we do the last Saturday of every month, and then every second month we have a meeting at somebody's house, and they show off their personal collection, that type of thing. And as well, May 9th is our year-end party where our club band, the Wannabeats, play, and they're actually quite good. They surprised the heck out of us last year when they played, and we're looking forward to it.
Sounds like a lot of fun. Thanks for coming by.
Thank you.
And bringing your memorabilia. That's
Super.
Nice to see.
Thank you.
Our guest is Larry Leach. He's the PR director of the Beatles fan club right here in Calgary.